Hi, this is Biotechnology, Part 8. Today I'm going to talk about the effects of these high-priced medications and its effects on a few individuals, and not only individuals, but health plans, how they're handling it, and also states and the government. And I'll show you a couple of things here. Watch. Here's an article from an AARP bulletin. This woman is talking, and I look at this little box, and it's just hard to believe that I'm holding $10,000 worth of medicine. I've been borrowing against my house to make ends meet, and I can't go on. I'm so afraid these drugs will cost me my home. Here's a woman that was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2000. She's 53 years old. My MS symptoms that left her too sick to work. She exhausted her retirement savings and lost her home because she couldn't pay the balance everyday expenses after paying more than $12,000 out of pocket for her MS medication. Now she lives in a one room in a basement of a friend's house. I'm destitute. Really? I've lost everything, she says. And down here, multiple sclerosis drugs, Avonex, Betaseron, and Copaxone, for example, run about $24,000 a year, while arthritis drugs Enbrel and Humira cost $15,000 to $45,000 a year. About 25% of all money spent on drugs in this company goes to specialty drugs. $73,000 this year, which was probably 08 or 07. That figure expected to increase to $99 billion by 2010. This is from the same article about a woman who was taking cancer drugs, Herceptin and Avastin, in 2006. Those two alone cost $300,000 a year. She was worried then because after several years of fighting her cancer, she was within a few months of hitting a lifetime cap of $1 million for health care in her state's special state insurance plan, which helps people who are turned down for private insurance. A lot of us went to the Capitol and lobbied, and we got the cap raised to $2 million. She says, now I'm safe for another few years. A few years. She's going to eat up $1 million in a few years. That's pretty absurd. Insurance may pay 80% of your drug bill, but if a drug costs $10,000 every 2 weeks, as some cancer drugs do, the patient is left with a huge bill, one that most Americans can't afford. And copays have been going up. Insurance companies don't want to foot all the bill too. Copays of 25 to 33% of a drug's cost can mean thousands of dollars out of pocket each year. But out-of-pocket expenses are capped at $4,050 in 2008. That's still a lot of money. And then you go down with somebody from the University of Minnesota making a comment down here. These prices have created a bubble much like the dot-coms and the mortgage lending companies. It's wild now, but at some point the bubble will burst, and companies that have built their business on these high-priced drugs will suffer. And here's an editorial from the New York Times as April 15th, 2008. When drugs cost soars beyond reach. And the highlighted area, instead of paying a modest $10 to $30 copay, as is usual the case for cheaper drugs, patients who need especially costly medicines are being forced to pay 20% to 33% of that bill. Here's a comment again from the New York Times from an earlier article in March of 08. One drug costs $300,000. As a case in point, Genzyme, Massachusetts-based biotechnology company, has long charged more than $300,000 a year for typical patients on Cerezyme, a drug that's used to treat Gaucher's disease. $300,000 a year. Absurd. And this is Canada, where they supposedly have socialized medicine. The state pays, but apparently they weren't paying for everything. If you go down, there's a kid in Canada that he was on, during the trials he got free Myozyme as he was part of the trial, but after the trial and it's approved, well, Myozyme to treat the disease that he has, which is Pompei's disease, or Pompey's. But the therapy costs $773,000 annually. $773,000. Beyond absurd. And this is from the Washington Post as of January 2008. More hitting cost limit on health benefits. Gaucher's disease and other costly chronic illnesses can easily rack up a medical bill that blows through the lifetime benefits cap of $1 million or more than is standard part of many insurance policies. That has left some very sick people facing health care tabs of hundreds of thousands of dollars or more, prompting their families to seek help from the government or to scramble to change jobs or even divorce for no other reason than to qualify for new health insurance. That's absurd also. And it has led some advocates for the chronically ill to plan a new lobbying effort in hopes of persuading Congress to require that insurers increase lifetime caps as high as $10 million. This is out of control. Avastin, over $200,000. Cerezyme, $300,000 a year. Myozyme, $773,000. The President talks about health care reform. Well, this is an area that needs reform. It is out of control, as you see. The money here is ridiculous, and nobody's going to be able to pay for this. Governments, anyone, is going to be able to pay for this. And knowing that the majority of what is in the pipeline for approval is biotech drugs, it's only going to get worse. How is it ever going to get better? There's a possibility of biosimilars. Well, I don't know how much savings we'd get out of that. But I think in the next part is going to be about contract manufacturing of these biologics. Talk to you next time. Bye.